Alright, so this is actually my first time doing a VR recording. We're going to be flying from Traverse City Airport, Michigan to Wexford County Airport, Michigan. Let's do this. We're using a Cessna 152. I'll go ahead and take that out. However, we are going to want that open. We'll go ahead and get our air traffic control tower stuff set up real quick. And we're going to go ahead and just move that out of the way. Alright, so I'm going to turn the fuel on. Battery, alternator. Mixture in. Go ahead and give it one primer. And let's give her a whirl. Alrighty. Okay. I seem to actually be in front of the fuel pump for some reason. That's not going to be good for trying to get out. No. Let's go ahead and listen to the
Traverse City Airport information, Mike 1200 Zulu.
weather.
Wind 276 at 7. Visibility, 9er. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,900 feet, few clouds at 4,200 feet, ceiling 13,200 feet broken. Temperature, 15. Dew point, 13. Altimeter, 29.92. ILS runway 28 in use. Landing and departing runway 28. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Mike.
Alright. So we're going to just go ahead and get ourselves set up here. We actually need a ground service because we're going to need a pushback.
Traverse City Ground, Bravo 11336 requesting pushback.
Traverse City Ground, Bravo 1136. No pushback tug is available to answer your request.
Oh, well that's depressing. Okay. Well, typically we would get a pushback away from the fuel here. In reality, you wouldn't actually park like this in front of the fuel. It's just kind of stupid. Those hoses over there stretch out quite a bit, so. But this is how I spawned, so let's go ahead and just ask for clearance to go, and we're just gonna go right through it. Let's see, we're going to be heading to the south.
Traverse City Ground, Bravo 1136 with Mike request taxi to the active departure to the south.
Bravo 1136 taxi to and hold short of runway 28 via taxiway Charlie Bravo. Contact tower on 124.2 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 28 using taxiway Charlie Bravo Bravo 1136.
Alright. Now normally there's like a whole startup you got to do, making sure everything's working and stuff like that when you're actually flying a plane. However, just for the sake of this video and kind of make it short, we're going to go ahead and skip that for this one. Gonna go ahead and be that guy that crosses the pavement like this. Again, we're just looking to kind of make the video a little short here, so I'm not going to be doing everything exactly how you're supposed to be doing it. So, you know, don't hate on me in the comments here. So again, we're going to be flying from Wexford County, or sorry, Traverse City to Wexford County in Michigan. This entire flight should take approximately just under 20 minutes once we get up and get going. Again, you'd stop there and you'd make sure there's no one coming. You'd also ask the air traffic controller if you can continue. So there's a bunch of stuff here that I'm not actually doing that you would definitely be doing if you were flying a plane normal. So let's see, we're going to runway 28. That should be this one down here at the end. So we got kind of a long hike to get down there. And someone's decided to use the taxiway. The AI in this game aren't exactly the smartest. Usually I don't play with artificial traffic on, just because they just get in the way. They'll be in your parking space. They'll be on the runway. I've had them do that. They'll be on taxiways, just like that guy just was. And they don't move either. You can sit there for fucking ever, and they will not get out of your way. So that's just one thing Microsoft needs to kind of work on. But again, that's just kind of an afterthought, you know, considering the flying aspect of the game was the forefront. So it's kind of interesting it's having me taken off this way for a south departure. So typically speaking, you want to take off going into the wind because it's going to help you generate lift so you can get off the runway easier. Looking at the sock there, you can see it's not really blowing in any specific direction, so it's not really that windy. So, well, I mean, I guess it is kind of facing south, so that's probably your best bet. But typically speaking, if you have any wind, you want to take off going into it. Alright, and again, there's a bunch of stuff that you're supposed to be doing here. We're just going to go ahead and skip it just for the sake of time on this video, because that was already a long taxiway. So we're going to go ahead and ask for clearance for takeoff.
Traverse City Tower, Bravo 113-6 at runway 28 ready for departure south departure.
Bravo 1136, altimeter 29er.9er2, wind 276 at 7. Departure to the south approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 28.
Alright. For those who are curious, I am using a flight stick, so you're not always going to see me using the mouse too.
Bravo 1136, did you copy?
Nope.
Cleared for takeoff
But yeah,
runway
you won't always
28
see me
Bravo
using the mouse to interact
1136.
with the cockpit. Okay, so here we're going to go ahead, and since I didn't see much wind, we're going to go flaps down a little bit. Let's just say 15 there. Brakes are held. Throttle out. And off we go. So we're just going to go ahead and keep the the throttle in there for a little bit as we maintain our climb. Go ahead and bring our flaps up. Well, let's continue straight out for a little bit until we're out of the airport. So for those of you who are familiar with the Traverse City area,
6 continue for south departure.
Traverse City Tower, Bravo
that is
11
the
tree, 6
bay right
continue
there.
for south departure.
Alright, so we got to 1,000 feet. We'll get up to about 2,000 and then I'll go ahead and start making my turn here. Just in case we get a stall or anything like that, we have some lift to be able to get where we need to go. Alright, we're going to start turning to heading. Nice, easy turn. We're just gonna keep climbing to, let's say, about 4,000 feet, and then we'll just hang out there. And from there, we'll just kind of enjoy the weather. It is a little bit cloudy. We are flying VFR, so we're gonna go ahead and stay out of the clouds here. Kind of close to one on our left-hand side, so we're just going to kind of thread the needle between the two and stay out of them. Try to get above the cloud line.
Bravo 1136, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Traverse City Tower, Bravo 11 tree, 6 frequency change.
Alright. Just go to Minneapolis for the moment. Typically speaking, like when I'm actually flying, we can just stay, because I live in Wexford County, you can just stay typically on the Wexford County channel, and that actually covers a huge area for majority of it. So you don't have to switch your radio frequencies nearly as much. So the difference here is we're going to go from a towered airport to a non-towered airport. And let's see, we got some clouds. I'm going to try to actually get us above those clouds. But anyways, we're going from a towered airport to a non-towered airport. So for landing at a towered airport, typically you'd have to contract the air traffic control tower. We're going through a cloud. So technically, this is actually illegal to fly through a cloud, but you know, this is a video game, so if you are actually flying, don't fly through clouds unless you have IFR flight plans. But anyways, so if you're landing at a non-towered airport, typically you have to call it out. So for example, if I'm heading towards Oxford County, I would say Cadillac traffic first, and then my designation, which in this case would be Cessna 2882. Basically just identifying what aircraft you're flying, and then your tail designation. You would then state what you want to do. For example, Cadillac has 4 runways, one of which is paved, one of which is grass. So we'd be landing on the paved one, which is runway 25 and 7. 25 heading west, 7 heading east. And we're probably going to be landing on runway 7 in this case, right over Lake Mitchell, for those of you familiar with the area. But anyways, you would just announce what you plan to do, make sure that the area is clear, and then continue to do so. Whereas air traffic control towers will tell you basically what to do and when to do it. So that's the main difference between landing at a towered airport and an untowered airport. And all of that is for safety, of course, because towered airports are typically really busy and they don't want you landing on top of each other. Yeah, this is really cloudy. I probably should have picked a not so cloudy setting. Not exactly very pretty for you guys. We're going to go ahead and go into third person for a minute so you guys can get kind of a view of what the outside looks like. Let's try out the city back there. And back in the cockpit. So we're going to go ahead and adjust our trim just a little bit, so I don't have to keep pulling on the joystick or on the yoke, going to get technical. And now it's just one of these. So this is actually really similar to the aircraft that I'm training on. I'm currently a student pilot through Cadillac Aviation, right out of Wexford County. I'm flying a Cessna 172 Model F. It doesn't have any of the upgraded aeronautics, so it's pretty much almost exactly like this on the inside. This specific one is a 152, but it was the closest one I could find that mirrored the aircraft that I'm currently flying. So that's why we're using it today. The airplane I fly has been around for a while. I think it was built in the 70s and is still flying strong today. So, alright, we're going to go ahead on the third person view so you guys can see the wonderful landscape. This game truly is a beautiful game. Wish my headset was a little more HD for you guys, but yeah, it's beautiful. Next video we'll do a little bit of fine tuning here, and I'll maybe get some of the clouds out of the way. And we'll fly some fun places for everybody. Do some different aircraft. Again, this is actually my very first video doing something like this, so. Okay, so we're actually heading towards some clouds right now. I don't want to go a whole lot higher, so we'll go up by maybe like another 1,000 feet or so. But coming up here pretty soon, we're actually going to have to start descending, so that's why I don't want to get up there too high. Am I going through a cloud? No, it just seems like it. We're going to go ahead and just kind of divert. Actually, you know what? I don't see a lot of clouds lower, and we're going to have to descend soon anyways, so we're going to go ahead and descend below the clouds. We're going to go ahead and cut our throttle a little bit and just kind of gently glide down. That'd probably be the smarter option rather than trying to go higher. We'll go a little bit lower. Typically speaking, if you're flying over forested areas, as you can see here, it's kind of scattered forest, but plenty of farm fields.
Generic Kilo Tango Tree, you are 6 miles southwest. Climb and maintain 5,700 feet. Expect vectors, visual runway 27 approach.
That wasn't for me. That was another aircraft. Anyways, typically speaking, if you're flying over a forested area like this, the higher altitude you can maintain, the safer.
Climb and maintain 5,700 feet. Expect vectors, visual runway 27 approach. Generic Kilo Tango Tree.
The safer you will be, because if you do experience an engine failure, then you have some room to glide further. You know, best case scenario, you can get to an airport. You know, other than that, you do have, as I said, plenty of fields here in which you could put down in. But you know, maybe I might do like an emergency landing video or something like that, just to kind of have some fun with it. But where we'll be flying at, which is probably going to be close to 4,000 feet, is an okay altitude to fly at. I would say it's not probably the best altitude, given how heavily forested this area is. However, you can glide quite a bit of distance at 4,000 feet. A good rule of thumb is typically for every 1,000 feet, you can probably get anywhere between a half a mile to a mile. So, it just depends on how you handle the aircraft. Okay. We're going to go ahead and pick our speed back up. I'll level her back out. And we're going to go ahead and leave her right there. Adjust our pitch a little bit. Yeah, you know, the crazy thing is actually, because I do fly in this area in real life frequently, is just the level of detail that this game has. It is actually pretty close. I mean, obviously they use generic things for like houses. If you're looking at them and you get really close to look at them, they're pretty generic. But you know, you can look down and say, "Holy crap, that's my house." You know, I've found my house, my grandparents' house, and some other family members' houses in this game, and it's just kind of a cool experience to be able to do that. So it'd be interesting to see where they take this game in the future and if they can actually continue. And sorry about the background noise back there. I have a couple dogs walking around. I have a German Shepherd and a mixed breed. We're not quite sure where she is, but she's a 100% good girl is what she is. And my German Shepherd, he's a 100% good boy. That's what he is. Okay, so we're a little under halfway done with the trip here. Honestly, the longest part of this is going to be getting into the pattern and then landing. That's the part that's going to seem like it takes the longest. This part's the fun part. You know, you're looking and sightseeing a little bit. You know, you can kind of lean the wing in a little bit, kind of look and see. Get a little bit of glare out the window from the clouds there. You can do the same over here. Shake the rudder a little bit. Yeah. So, as you can see here, we're entering into Cadillac here pretty soon. Over there is Lake Mitchell, and you have Lake Cadillac directly off to, well, it's more straight. Lake Mitchell is a little bit off to the right there, and Cadillac is more straight on. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and tune our list to Cadillac.
Minneapolis Center Bravo 1136 is type Cessna 152 9 miles north of Kilo Charlie Alpha Delta 3,600 feet. Request flight following.
Bravo 1136, Minneapolis Center.
Not what I meant to do.
216.
Squawk 5216 Bravo 1136.
Bravo 1136, radar contact 9 miles north of Kilo Charlie Alpha Delta 3.
Alright, we're just going to go ahead and ignore.
Roger Bravo 1136. Minneapolis Center Bravo 1136, cancel flight following.
Bravo 1136, Minneapolis Center, cancellation received. Squawk 1200. Frequency change approved.
Alright, now we can do what I actually want to do and go to the nearest airport list. And we're going to go ahead and choose Wexford County. And let's listen to the weather.
Kilo Charlie Alpha Delta, automated weather observation 1300 Zulu. Wind 276 at 7. Visibility 9er. Sky condition. Few clouds at 1,900 feet. Few clouds at 5,100 feet. Ceiling 12,500 feet broken. Temperature 15 C. Dew point 13 C. Altimeter 29902. Kilo Charlie Alpha Delta. Automated weather observation.
We're going to go ahead and choose runway 7.
Kilo Charlie Alpha Delta, traffic Bravo 11366 6 miles north, 3,100 feet, inbound to land runway 7.
Alright. That was actually almost perfect timing. We're doing great for the pattern. Now, I never fly these patterns quite perfect, and I can be quite honest, I don't really know anyone who flies them exactly like this. But this will give you the gist of basically what you do. Here's a US 131 right there. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and switch to low flight mode. So what I did there is I pulled the carbs out, or carb heater out. Oh. Okay. Oh, there it goes again. I was kind of wondering what it was doing there. So what I did is I pulled the carb heater out and lowered the flaps down. Not quite all the way down, as we don't want them all the way in or all the way down quite yet, but what we're trying to do is lower our airspeed down. This way we can have the optimal landing without blowing out our landing gear. Alright, so what we're doing here is we're entering the pattern, which is going to bring us at a side basically side by side with the airport to the left. Here you're going to look and see, do I have any airplanes that are taxiing? Do I have any airplanes that are on the runway? No one responded to our traffic saying that they were taxiing or on the runway or getting ready to take off, and we can visually confirm that there is nobody there. So we're going to go ahead and continue with our pattern. And again, here it says I'm going too fast. We're fine. There's going to be quite a few times actually where I'm going to have to step on the accelerator a little bit, so to speak, or push the throttle in, so we don't end up stalling. This is always the part that just seems to go on and on and on forever. At a more of a tolerable airspeed here. We're doing really good. Alright, we're about to announce our final approach here in a little bit. Oop. That's me switching hands here.
Kilo Charlie Alpha Delta traffic Bravo 1136 is on final runway 7 to land.
Alright, we're looking good. Speed's looking good. There's Lake Mitchell right there. Right there's Lake Cadillac. nice little bit there to get us across. Get where we want to go. Oh, that was actually a really bad landing. That was bad. Alright, don't do what I did there. But I suppose any landing you don't crash is a good landing. So typically speaking there, I actually came in with too little power. And I came almost too short of the runway. I was literally right on the pavement. So yeah, that was like I said, that was a bad landing. But we didn't crash. We're not on fire, so we'll take it. We'll take it. Alright, so this is gonna be one of those ones I can tell we're gonna have guys in my way here. So this little airport is actually looks nothing like the actual airport. It's missing some buildings, like the main building, and it does not have any of these type of vehicles at all. You know, it's just a small unmanned airport. No buses, no refuel trucks, no people guiding you where to go. But you know, the game does the best with what it has. Well, you know, like I got guys just chilling here in the way. You know, they just drive through each other. So that's what we're gonna do too. Yeah, it doesn't have these lights in the way either, and where that green patch is, there's actually a building. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start the shutdown procedure. So we don't need this up anymore. We're going to go ahead and put our mixture back in, or carb heat back in. That's our trim. Carb heat in. Parking brake is on. We're going to go ahead and cut the mixture. Turn our magnetos all the way off. Turn the alternator off. Then the battery. And just like that, takes about 25 minutes. Of course, we had a little bit of a long taxi time, but that's okay. Anyways, thank you for joining me on this, and we'll catch you next time.